Hey guys, it's me, Brent. It's been a while since the last time we chatted. Wanted to take a minute today and just give you an update about what's going on with me within the channel here. So, the last time that we had talked and that I was featured in one of the videos, it was a little bit ambiguous about my role in the channel. At the time, we had expected that I'd be doing some pretty silly things. Don't get me wrong, I absolutely still want to do silly things with everybody. But we found out some other stuff since then as well. So with all of the just creative energy in the house since Mike got to my creative going, it inspired me to do something that I haven't done in a long time, that I have a long background in, and that was to go pick up my sketch pad and a pencil again and just start drawing. The rest of the house was not aware that I have kind of an extensive background in art through my life. I wouldn't call myself an artist necessarily, definitely not a professional, but it's something I've been into for most of my life. Something that, you get busy in college and post-collegiately and you just don't quite have the same time for it anymore. So I started playing around with that again and led to that being mostly what I'm going to be doing for the channel going forward. Like I said, I still want to do some funny things as well, but it's going to end up taking up a lot of the time that I originally had planned on dedicating to kind of funny videos. And basically what happened, our coworker and friend Finn ended up starting his podcast, Single Track. You guys should absolutely check it out if you have any interest in trail running in general, the mountains, or even just the outdoor run industry. He's going to do some really interesting stuff with that. But when he created that, he obviously needed a logo. That's something that Mike is obviously very comfortable with. He does all the time. He does tons of graphics. But Mike's a busy guy, and I just figured, hey, why not take a crack at this and show Finn a couple of the things that I'm working on, see if he likes them. So I did a couple of logo variants for him, and he ended up really liking a lot of the ones that I did, but we ended up settling on a pretty specific design. And, I ended up going for it, and the next step after that was that I had to have a way to make that logo digital for him. That's an extremely new thing for me. Never done digital art in the past. Didn't really know where to start. Luckily, Finn was trying to unload an iPad. He had the Apple Pencil with it and everything, and it just so happens that a lot of the art creators that I follow on YouTube happen to use that exact thing for a lot of the stuff that they do. So after getting this iPad from Finn, I downloaded a program called Procreate, started messing with it. Fun thing about Procreate is it's a super intuitive program. It's not very hard to learn, even for somebody like myself that's not great with tech stuff. The problem was just overall a learning curve on how to use technology for me. So even as intuitive as it was a little bit of a slow process. So the logo took a little longer than I wanted to finish. Basically what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you guys up in the corner a little bit of a time lapse of how I try to go about doing the first version of the logo. Had a lot of straight lines, ended up with some kind of intricate lettering that needed to be very precisely spaced. And at the end of the day, it was just, you can see from the video how silly of a way I went about it. I tried to do a lot of tricks to get it to look the right way. And bottom line, I A, didn't know enough about the program I was using, and B, probably didn't have the correct program for the logo work that I was doing. I think in the future, I'll probably get more familiar with some options that involve vector art, programs like Adobe Illustrator. I know Mike's very familiar with that and he swears by it. But for what I was using at the time, it just didn't really work out the way I wanted. So I spent hours trying to fix it and make it right, and eventually I ended up going back to my original version of the logo that I had done. Had a lot more curvature to the lines, a little bit more flowy in general. Actually, I think lends itself a lot better to a program like Procreate that I think generally is being used for more digital painting and kind of like comic type work. So I'll show you again in the corner kind of the start of that process and what that looked like, and you can see pretty quickly how much easier of a time I had even just through a small bit of the time lapse. But it was interesting. It gave me kind of my first look into the digital world of art, and it's something that I'm going to be pursuing a lot more as we go forward. As a matter of fact, I already have interest and a job offer creating another logo for another company. So I think as we go ahead, I'm going to do definitely more videos on art. I'm going to do a lot of digital art videos, and basically just kind of share my progress with you guys. So if you're anybody going through kind of the same thing right now, if you're looking to make a name for yourself in the digital art world or graphic design, anything like that, and you've really just done analog work your whole life, I invite you to come along and maybe learn from some of the mistakes that I've made, like I'm saying, even from having maybe the right program for the right job, or just learning little tricks within the program. I feel like every day that I use Procreate, I learn something new about it. It makes my life way easier trying to translate what I do from paper into the digital world. So yeah, I mean, stay tuned. Gonna have hopefully another graphic up within the next week. If I can get the go ahead from the group that I'm working with for the new logo, I'd love to do a video about that as well. But there'll be plenty coming up. Please stay tuned. Leave a like, subscribe if you guys already haven't, and yeah, have a great day. See ya.